See, this comes as great news for many Indonesians as President Joko Widodo officially lifted community activity restrictions, or PPKM, on Friday, December the 30th, 2022, to close out the previous year. Now, Indonesia inches towards naming COVID-19 as an endemic disease.
Now, how does new regulation help in this transition process of making COVID-19 an endemic virus? And what will it take, or what must happen for the government to put restrictions back in place? To find out, we're now connected with Universitas Indonesia epidemiologist Pandu Riono. Good morning, Pak Pandu. Thank you for joining us.
Good morning. Good morning. How are
Hi,
you?
Pak Pandu. Good morning. We're very well, and Happy New Year to you. And we wanted to ask straight away because community restrictions of PPKM have been lifted, and we are still seeing COVID-19 surges in some countries. And the government has also mentioned that this is now transitioning to up to the community, right? So in effect, what can the community do to keep the COVID-19 numbers or infection numbers in controlled bay?
Okay, the important one, why government lifted the restrictions, because government's confidence that the immunity level or immunity wall among the community is very high. It means that we have already observed during last 6 months, even there's so many new subvariants because the virus always mutated. It means that there's no impact on the severity people who should care in the hospital, and also the death of the people because of COVID. It means that we believe that governments now is trying to shift the responsibility that previously strongly by governments, strongly implemented by governments, now move to the responsibility of the community. Because in the endemic, it means that when the disease is not severe among the people, it means that community itself should be more responsible, change their behavior or maintaining a good health behavior, like using masks, trying to get vaccinated, especially booster, and also anything that already practiced during pandemic should be maintained. It means that we believe that Indonesia is already success to control and consistently the transmissions and also the severity of the pandemic.
Okay, Pak Pandu, before we discuss how life is going to be once we enter an endemic phase, I think that myself, our colleagues here, as well as the general public, have this bit of a gray area now. Would you be able to perhaps clear up for us what is the rules in state? You mentioned that the government is now putting this in our hands, and I think we've been saying this for months where, hey, if I'm feeling a bit under the weather, I should be the one wearing the mask and not everybody else around me. I think that's just, just human nature. However, what do the rules actually stipulate? Because I myself found myself confused. I went to a mall this past weekend. I noticed I didn't have to check in anymore. I wasn't sure if I really had to have my mask on at all times unless I was eating. So all of that has now changed. What did the rules actually say, Pak Pandu?
And there's no rule actually that it means that previously we have also strong restriction, we limited the activity, limited not only the activity of the people, but also the activity of the business. The restaurants will be closed at 10 o'clock or 8 o'clock some period, and now it can open 24 hours. Right. It means that people can move, and the school will be open, and all the office will be every day they can go to the office. It means that actually there's no restriction. It means that we loosen the restriction that before, and we are not depends on the strongest or the maintaining that we have the immunity, because we already success maintaining the immunity by vaccinations and also by natural infections. the Indonesia is blessing because we call it hybrid immunity. The people currently in the last Zero survey in the last July 2022, we estimate the 98.5% already have immunity. If we can survey in this month, or we can almost 100%. The importance, we observe the people who already got booster, it has the high level of the immunity. And what that is mean? It means that immunity can prevent, if even you got infected, you will never go to the hospital because there's no severe. And also the death will be very low. It means that the current death level is like before pandemic. It means that this is a very happy moment. It means in the 2023, we currently still educate people, maintaining the healthy behavior, and also trying to educate people, please go to the vaccinations. Currently, we have especially booster, especially among old people, because they will become victim if there's new variants. Because in the current situations, this virus still mutated. And hopefully that we believe that we can maintaining the strong immunity among people, even the virus is become mutated, we will have a new variants, but no impact on the health or the disease among people.
Yeah, and I think this is a bit of a testament to a bit of a reward for countries that are diligent in getting their citizens vaccinated and following health protocols, that now we're able to enjoy some of these freedoms that we had previously as well.
Yeah. So the government is now slowly trying to transition to get the communities and people used to, right? Less government intervention, you may say. But what indicators do experts use to transition to the endemic phase? Like what are the indicators that Indonesia would be truly ready for the endemic phase? Because it was announced that this is currently the transition, and lifting up the PPKM, right? The restrictions, and now they want the community to, after being conditioned and trained, for instance, for the last couple of years to the clean and healthy lifestyle and how to deal with these with illnesses or airborne infections, basically, to live with it. So what are the indicators for us truly to be ready to declare this is an endemic?
Actually, there's no strong indicator. I mean, there is no hard explanation for when we enter the endemic, because the pandemic itself, it means that the outbreak that not only in one country, in many countries, in global. It means that if we see still the outbreak or the increasing cases in another country, it means we still aware that the pandemic is not yet finished. If most of the country, the situation will be like Indonesia, in some country like India, Indonesia, and also the China currently is already declining the cases. It means that we can enter the endemic. It means that WHO will lift the statement or the status of public health emergency international concerns. And also Indonesia, if they believe that we can already enter the endemic, the President Jokowi will lift the public health emergency. Because currently Indonesia still maintaining the status of public health emergency, we just lift the social or the activity restrictions because we are now focused on the maintaining and prepare the community when even we enter the endemic, the transmission is still there. It means that if you don't want to get infected, be healthy. Good behavior using masks, and also if you got something like common flu or flu-like illness, please stay at home and using masks.
Yeah.
Don't transmit to other people.
Okay, yeah, a lot of valuable lessons learned over the past few years, certainly, Pak Pandu. But in your opinion, do you think the lifting of these restrictions may cause a feeling of a false sense of security? Let's say, I mean, you did mention that COVID-19 is still around, but with the lifting of these restrictions, do you think there is a possibility or risk that people might feel like, oh, everything's back to normal, and then kind of forget about some of these protocols, or perhaps miss their appointment to get their booster shots? Is there a possibility of this happening? And if it does happen, what are the risks to us, the general public? Is there a chance that PPKM could be implemented again?
I think PPKM will be not implemented again.
Okay.
We are in different situation now. I think many people or some public official don't agree if PPKM lifted. Even many doctors still doesn't agree if the PPKM lifted, especially when we are here that in China, in some countries, still a surge of the cases. But we have different situations. Every country has different situations. Even how we dealing with the pandemic, we have different strategy. It means that currently we maintaining, we focus, we believe in the infectious disease. The immunity among people is important. And we learn from another infectious disease like polio, measles, and also some disease that already gone because we already success eradicate because of vaccinations. If vaccinations already reach almost the 70% of the people, it means that we have strong immunity wall. Immunity wall is even there's still the virus still circulate among people, new virus still circulate. It means that the people already got the weapon.
Yeah.
They will not get the severe disease and will not get the risk for death is very low. But it become unusual because people that I am afraid they will not get booster because booster is important. It means that currently only 60 until 40% coverage of booster. We need more than that. Even the complete vaccination is already more than 70%. That the level of immunity is important to maintaining, to consistently can dealing with the new mutations. This is the euphoria that I am afraid. That's why governments still maintaining the vaccination, free vaccination for booster, and still maintaining the free COVID care and treatment until we lift up the public health emergency.
So, Pak Pandu, we're just spoken of vaccinations. This is not really related to the lifting of the PPKM, but related to boosters. Some countries have boasted and claimed that they have Omicron variant-specific vaccines. Is that really in existence, specifically here in Indonesia, or are our previous or existing vaccines more than enough for boosters as well?
Yeah. It depends on the type of vaccine. Some country using type of vaccine like mRNA vaccines.
Yep.
It means they using the type of vaccine that specifically recognize the spike of the virus. We can see the virus has some spike, and this is the problem. The mutation is there. if the mutation is there, I mean that our immunity, some people said will be not recognize the virus. That's dangerous. It means that we already immunity, but the immunity is useless because they don't recognize the virus. But Indonesia is blessing. Indonesia using the inactivated virus. It means the total virus. Even some part of the virus is changes, but our immunity still recognized. That's another explanation why in some country that using different type of vaccine can have some impact or success dealing with pandemic. It means that it's still debatable, but many people believe that we are blessing that using this, and then we are also have some hybrid immunity. Some more than 50% people got infections, natural infection, and also get vaccine. It means the level of immunity is more stable because they got vaccination by nature. It means the vaccination infected, and then also a vaccination by using type of vaccine. And then the booster, any type of booster, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Because they just boost the memory in our immunity system that we have should have produced the antibody for the virus. That's important.
That's certainly an
That's
interesting
why this is explanation why Indonesia is even the type of new mutation is become significant increase the community transmission in some country, but not in Indonesia. Even they already circulated some 3 months ago, like B17 is already circulated in Indonesia, but we don't see the impact. It means that this is the argument that already explained by the epidemiologists, and because some medical communities still consider that some countries have different response to the pandemic, even they make some restriction PCR tests among people from China, but Indonesia not yet doesn't want to implement the restriction again. It means that open because we believe we have strong immunity wall.
Pandu, real quick before we let you go here, obviously the timing of everything seems to fit in with the recovery of a pandemic. But in your opinion, as an epidemiologist, what do you think about the timing of the decision by the government to lift the restrictions of social activities? Do you think it's the correct choice at this time?
Yeah, I think this is like the gift of the reward for Indonesian people, because they already collaborate, they want to be vaccination, they practice using masks, keep the social distancing, and then actually I am as epidemiologist already proposed 3 months ago to lift up the PPKM. And then I trying to ask the government, please lift the restriction before New Year, because if we give the people, Indonesian people, that we already success in dealing with pandemic, it means that we can educate them. We can maintaining the collaborations among people, because Indonesia is very different. There's no strong vaccine rejections among people. It means that we can maintaining and we can more faster to enter the endemic, and the government lift the public health emergency status in Indonesia.
All right. Well, looks like you got your wish, Pandu, and we're also glad that you did. Thank you so much for your time here.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.